Let us stand while we receive our graduates. You may be seated. Welcome to Tyler Becoming Bright Point Community College. Welcome to our nursing pinning ceremony. I am Dr. Bridget Wilson, the Director of Nursing. I bring you greetings on behalf of the nursing faculty. If the nursing faculty would stand. Thank you. Our president, Dr. Raspeler, if you would stand to be recognized, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Bill Figge, Vice President of Operations, Education, and to all of our VPs that are here today, if you would stand to be recognized. Institution Advancement, Dr. Brown, our new Dean, Dr. Randall, Dr. KB, you know I'm gonna mess your last name up, and any others that are here. To our alumni, we thank you for coming to our pinning. To our guests, to all of our students, I say welcome. Tyler Becoming Bright Point Community College. Today we celebrate your accomplishments. You have plowed through a pandemic, ran through a few obstacles. You have ran through obstacles, jumped over a few hurdles, and now you're at the finish line. Nursing is a team sport. Together, everyone achieves more. Now you have an opportunity to help those in need. I challenge you to be the best that you can be when no one is looking. Do the right thing when no one is looking. As nurses, we take on many challenges. As you take on this new journey, remember that integrity and ethics are your shield of honor. My final thoughts from Maya Angelou. As a nurse, we have the opportunity to heal the mind, the soul, the heart, and the body of our patients, their families, and ourselves. They may forget your name, but patients will never forget how you made them feel. I wish you the best as you start this new path in healthcare. Congratulations to the class of 2022 spring nursing graduates. We will now have the introduction of our speaker by Dr. Ted Raspeler, our president.
We do a lot of recognizing and clapping and cheering, but let's have a hand for our nursing program director, Dr. Bridget Wilson, who's really carried a big load this semester. Congratulations. This is, as she said, this is the finish line, and I say, no, now you're ready to jump in the fast lane. This is the starting line, right? Now you're ready to go forth and engage in what will likely be very fulfilling careers. We don't have a more rigorous program at this college or any two-year college than the associate degree nursing program. And I think you probably all attest to the rigor that this program has. And sometimes it feels good and sometimes it feels rigorous, but always know that it's about preparation for what you're about to get into. And I know that there's no more highly regarded group of employees at any healthcare agency than nurses. I get doctors like to get their kudos, but it's about the nurses. For the last few years, I've been on the board for Chippenham Johnston Willis Hospital, and the number one concern is nurses. And it's not just about hiring them. It's about taking care of them once they're hired so they continue to flourish in the organization. And I think every healthcare organization feels that way. I, needless to say, take great pride bragging on you all, as I do almost every board meeting. And you know what? That all comes back to me as I hear them brag on the people that have gone to this school and are now over there working. So congratulations again. And I think, you know, I was a teacher before I became a administrator, and sometimes I wonder why I ever left the classroom. But one year before the academic year, we had faculty convocation like we do here, and we had a speaker, and he was a longtime professor. This was when I still lived in Texas, and he said, "You're in a helping profession, and that means that there's more things important to you than just simply money. And there's good days, and there's challenging days." Every day before I came in, this was a guy who taught for over 40 years. Every day I came into the parking lot, and before I got out of my car, I said to myself, "How's your heart?" Because I knew that's what it was going to take to do the job of teaching. I say the exact same thing to you all today. You pull up there to work, look in that little rearview mirror as you're fixing things to go in for the day, and ask yourself, how's my heart? Because if you're not strong and you're not able and you're not leading with your heart, it's going to be a lot more of a challenge. And so I think those are special words for anybody in a helping profession, certainly for the one that you all are going into. You made it through a pandemic, you made it through a nursing program, you're going to make it through the NCLEX test, and you're going to make amazing nurses. Keep that in mind. And if you want a glimpse into what your future could be, I'm going to introduce you all now to a nurse. Joe Mazzo, who's the CEO at John Randolph Medical Center, indeed began his healthcare career working in the emergency room as a registered nurse in Queens, New York. He believes focusing on his team's well-being creates positive experiences for patients. Think about that one for a minute. He believes focusing on his team's well-being, that means all the employees, not just his direct reports, creates positive experiences for patients. That's powerful. He also has he's got a bachelor's now in nursing from Queens University in Charlotte, North Carolina. Something about you and Queens, Joe, I'm not sure. North Carolina, New York, and a Master of Arts in Organizational Leadership from Columbia University's Teachers College. He's worked here, like I said, in this leadership role. He's held various clinical leadership positions across the country till moving into hospital operations, and now he's in the CEO role. So help me bring Joe up to the podium. We're glad to have him today.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Raspeler. Appreciate that kind introduction. Welcome to the class of 2022. Congratulations. It's my honor and privilege to be with you today. Congratulations to the class who started their journey at the worst possible time during a global pandemic. I'm sure you're like many of us, had no idea what was in store for you. A journey that you embarked on where we saw unprecedented departure. 1 in 5 healthcare workers, 18% of healthcare workers left healthcare in the past 2 years. The fact that you're here tonight says a lot about your commitment, your dedication, and your perseverance. And I remember my ceremony, my graduation day. As Dr. Raspeler mentioned, it's Queens College in Charlotte, North Carolina. Beautiful sunny day outside. My friends and family were around. Even my college sweetheart, who ultimately became my wife. And I remember the president giving his speech, and I remember the feeling of joy and accomplishment and pride I had, and this powerful message and his challenge and motivating words. And he's asking, what's next? And as he says, what's next, there's a hush over the crowd, which is followed by my dad in the back of the room yelling, "Get a job." Well, soon you'll be out in the workforce to join well over 4 million nurses in healthcare. I thought I'd share a few of my lessons with over 25 years in the business. Lesson 1, be prepared to know your why. During your first few days on the job, we love to ask that question. What motivated you? What got you into nursing? What's your story? Was it a personal experience? Was someone you loved impacted by a nurse in a meaningful way? Why'd you embark on this journey? I'd like to share my why. It started my second day of my sophomore year. I was on athletic scholarship. I needed that one extra credit, so I decided to take nutrition. Seemed easy enough. Being an athlete, I thought, why not? First day of class, I showed up 15 minutes late in a uniform full of dirt, barged into the class, handed my professor my schedule. She was annoyed. She looked at my schedule, looked up at me, and asked, "Are you in the right class?" To which I hastily replied, "Yep, Nutrition 101, I'm here." Again, she looked down at my schedule, even more annoyed, and asked, "Are you a nursing student?" And as she asked that question, I turned around, and there was 35 people staring at me. 33 of them were women. Now, as I'm staring back at the class, she again says, "Mr. Mazzo, this is Nutrition 101. It's prerequisite to nursing. Are you in the nursing student program?" I quickly turned around and said, "Now I am." Let's just say she didn't like me too much. All joking aside, my why is much deeper than that. Probably has something to do with I grew up in a household with both my mom and dad were nurses. Let that sink in. Both parents. I didn't have a choice. There was nothing normal about my upbringing. There was no such thing as a normal dinner conversation. I mean, what family can freely discuss bodily fluids over dinner? Not much of anything was normal. My bed, always at hospital corners. My room was expected to be free of clutter. We celebrated holidays at odd times and different times than everybody else because one of them was working. And they had a remedy for every illness, even if it was crazy. You can imagine the stories I heard. Some interesting, some humorous, some very sad. But I always remember the feeling that I had when I watched my parents describe how they made other people feel. And I remember I was astonished with the knowledge that they had and how they touched people's lives. The compassion and empathy they displayed and the sense of satisfaction and fulfillment they received when they did work they did. The impact they had on people has been lasting on me. You know, as a big sports fan, people always ask me, "Who's your idol?" Well, that's easy. My idol didn't dribble a ball or wear ice skates. They wore scrubs and a stethoscope. They were my parents, and they were nurses. So as a nurse who also happens to be a CEO, that's how I try to lead. That's my why. You see, you all have your why. Remember it. It will serve you well. This profession will provide you with amazing experiences. While most of your friends and families will discuss their office job, you will be describing experiences that are so powerful, most people won't be able to comprehend or even understand. If you're fortunate and privileged enough, you will hold the hand and comfort the elderly during their last days. Or you will comfort and hold a mother and their newborn during their first days. You will comfort, embrace, guide, mentor people during their most difficult and rewarding times. You get to do that. Why? Because you trained for it. You studied for it. You prepared for it. But most important, because you wanted to be a nurse. You had your why. Don't forget that why. It's such a wonderful and rewarding profession, but it's hard. It's demanding, and at times it's lonely. It's not easy, especially not now. We're facing some amazing challenges. As I mentioned, 20% of the healthcare workers have left. 30% of those are nursing. COVID has pushed us and challenged us in ways more than anything in my lifetime. There are days in the early part of the COVID where we were counting masks and changing guidelines every day. I watched as census and demand for healthcare went up while staffing decreased. And yet something else amazing happened. The nurses showed up. Each and every day, they showed up. Despite overwhelming fear and uncertainty, they showed up. It highlighted what, as a nurse, I already knew. Nurses can do anything. Let's face it, when you can suction somebody, change a dressing, get yelled at by a patient, instruct a new doctor, all before breakfast, before a bathroom break, you can do anything. You see, just like you, they had their why. I challenge you to always remember that. It will serve you well in good times and in bad. Lesson 2. You've had several tough years where I'm sure the professors challenged you to learn and know everything there was to learn about medicine and nursing. The learning is endless. The pressure and responsibility to know is enormous. I mean, do I even have to say 12 cranial nerves? I mean, there's a reason why there's that creative mnemonic, right? It's difficult. And if you're like me, ever since you entered nursing school, to your family and friends, you were already a nurse, even if you were in the first semester of nursing school. They always asked you the medical questions, right? And not just the easy ones. There's always an aunt and uncle that would say, hey, what's this rash on my arm? Or the friend that would say, my leg hurts for 5 years. What do you think it is? More challenging was not wanting to disappoint, or worse, fail, and getting a failing grade. I still remember the fear of my first clinical days, where I had just finished an assessment on a system, a body system, and I was so afraid that the patient wouldn't ask me about a system that I have not read yet. However, the fact is you don't know everything. So you need to start getting comfortable saying, I don't know. It's okay to say I don't know. But it should be immediately followed with, but I'll find out. During my years as a clinical instructor, I would preach this, and I still use it today. I would rather you acknowledge that you don't know than to just make it up. You only break the trust of a patient or worse, harm them. It'll take you years to develop your knowledge, and you'll always be learning, so be patient. Lesson 3. There'll be a point when you develop and enhance your skills and knowledge, and you won't be the new kid on the block. Trust me, it'll come. You'll finally come to work, not too scared you're going to hurt somebody, and you may even get your charting done before the end of the shift. You actually start to know many of the questions your patients ask, and maybe even start sharing stories about your experiences. Then, without warning or preparation, you might get asked to mentor or precept somebody. You'll probably feel completely overwhelmed and maybe even resist it at first, saying, how could I do that? I just graduated. I don't even know myself. Cherish it, embrace it, and train them. But here's the important piece. Don't sit back and berate them and pass judgment on them because they don't know something. Never forget how you started. Never forget this feeling. Never forget those first days, how scared and vulnerable you are. And always remember, you weren't born a nurse. Some very special people had to take time and patience to train you. So take time and train the next generation. As we say in our profession, don't eat your young. Lesson 4. This profession will afford you many opportunities. As a nurse, I was fortunate to travel the country, working in many different states. I tell every new class that I meet, you can work anywhere. But here's a little secret. Every place has its challenges. What one facility has figured out, another one struggles. It's inevitable you will work in a facility that has challenges in some aspect of the healthcare delivery system. And with endless possibilities and options, it seems logical to move on when the struggles or issues go unaddressed. It's tempting and fairly easy to do. It's the old saying, the grass is always greener. Well, it's not. We all have weeds and we all have issues. I promise you, it's not rewarding to search for the grass, the greener grass, or the better situation. I say instead, I challenge you to stay and get involved. Whether it's a practice council or an employee advisory group who works directly with the administration, get involved. You don't like who leadership is hiring? Ask to be part of the recruitment process, or better yet, be part of the peer interview process. 2 reasons. First, nursing's a big part of our workforce. Nurses make over 40% of my entire staff. You have a lot to say and a lot of influence on how we run a hospital. And as administrators, we don't always get it right. Second, and most importantly, you'll be more satisfied as a nurse if you're engaged, involved, and actively part of the team. So in closing, congratulations on all your accomplishments. Keep focused on why you entered this amazing profession. Draw on it. It'll give you strength and motivation to go out there and make that positive difference. Continue to develop your skills and knowledge and keep up with the new trends and technology, but give yourself a break and room to grow. Promise it'll come. Give back and support each other, especially the next group and generation. And get involved in the places you work. Be part of the solution instead of complaining about the problem. Thank you, and welcome to the family.
Let's give Joe a whole lot of love for that great advice that he just gave you. A very timely speech during a time that you guys came through hurdles and winds and tunnels, but you made it. So, Joe, thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of the faculty and staff at Tyler Becoming Bright Point, we just want to give you just a little token on behalf of our president and our vice president, Dr. Figge. We want to just give you something to say thank you.
Thank you very much.
We will now have our student speaker, Dion Dow.
Good afternoon. So, we've successfully finished nursing school, even though the world continues to reverberate with the effects of a pandemic environment, the daily news reports about the tragic situation in the Ukraine, and the disbelief over the staggering jump in gas prices. Thank you so much for Zoom classes. We've all worked very hard to get to this point, from the prerequisites, the ATI, the T's, remember the T's? Clinicals, HESI exams, simulations, and one test after another. And I think by this point, we've had about as many tests as a patient with unexplained signs and symptoms. So, nursing school. It's that place where even a straight A student will take a C in 4th semester. But graduates, some of us didn't get a C, but we did come back because success is failure that got up the next day and kept on moving. We got up and we came back stronger. We faced adversities and we persevered. Some of us, to faculty, this program was not without fault, but it's like the human body, something's bound to go wrong somewhere. But I would like to extend my gratitude to all of you for helping us all get to this day. To one of you in particular, I won't say your name because I've come to realize how modest and humble you are, but if not for you, many of us may not have continued with this program. This teaches encouragement and ability to lead and to teach us without us realizing we were being taught, and their dedication to pushing us beyond the limits that we have seen for ourselves. That has been priceless. To our family and friends, we thank you for all of our enduring rants, our tears, our complaints. I know my immediate family can definitely relate to that. They're probably nodding their heads now. Yeah. So to them and to the rest of you, join us now in our celebration, because if you don't already know, the job we're about to undertake can be thankless, and it's definitely exhausting, both physically and mentally. To those that we lost along the way, our loved ones, our cheerleaders and some faculty, may the memories of these pillars of strength live in our hearts forever. So we're all here today, graduates, because we'll soon become registered nurses. And I anticipate days of self-doubt, some tears, some frustration as we begin practicing, but it's okay. Lean on your support system. I can tell that some of them are here today, because mine definitely are. Keep building your support system as you go along. If you only have one person, that will be enough to keep you going. So let's stay in touch with one another. Let's stay motivated, and let's stay true to the profession. You'll meet some fantastic people during your career. You may have already met some phenomenal veteran nurses. I know I have, and they know who they are. So we have a lot to learn as new grads, and make sure you're always listening and always applying your critical thinking skills. So before I started this nursing program, I was a corporate recruiter for 15 years, and I felt it would be apropos to read a job description. It was originally a job description of a parent. Some of you will be able to relate. And I found it online many years ago. It made me laugh. So I've adapted it to our future career of choice, the RN, and that does not stand for refreshments and narcotics. It does stand for registered nurse. Faculty, you will be happy to know that this is not typed in APA format. There are no references at the end, and although I do have a quote, it is not less than 5 years ago. So, your position title will be RN, registered nurse. Nurse, hey lady, hey dude, Mr., Miss, Sir, Ma'am, and a few choice words that I won't mention in front of faculty and parents. The job description is looking for a long-term team player who's needed for a challenging permanent work in an often chaotic environment. You must possess organizational skills. Oh, I've lost it. Oh, sorry. You must possess great communication skills, because you'll take direction from charge nurses, doctors, technicians, and patients, and their visitors. It's imperative that you are flexible enough to work for several hours every day, especially when your shift has ended. There are 8 short responsibilities for this role, and number 1, you must be readily available to continue learning for the rest of your life, because the changes in nursing education are as frequent as your iPhone updates. Number 2, you must have a strong desire to be adored by your colleagues and patients, but also hated by those same colleagues and patients until the colleague needs assisting, repositioning, bathing, or restraining a patient, and until that patient needs their medication, their juice, or their crackers. Number 3, you should definitely be willing to take the medical advice of family members and friends of patients who regularly read WebMD and Google. Number 4, our bariatric patients need our help, so you must possess the strength of a gonorrhea bacterium. Because, according to Deborah McKenzie's April 2008 article in New Scientist Online, these tiny creatures can pull with a force equal to 100,000 times their body weight. Number 5, you must be able to go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat, in case this time the bed alarm is because your fall risk patient really didn't get up and did simply reach for their bedside table. Number 6, you must be willing to face any number of challenges on a daily basis, such as a down EMR system, limited PPE, an uncooperative Pyxis system, the oddly elusive Dynamaps, and work schedules that will change as often as your patient's medical administration record. Number 7, your duties of medication passing, one-to-one feeding, specialist consultation, and hygiene care, amongst others, must be coordinated with that of the random and often inconvenient schedules of healthcare providers, occupational therapy, physical therapy, respiratory therapy, speech therapy, social workers, environmental services, various technicians, if you're lucky to have them, pharmacy, dietary, and of course, your patient's visitors. And number 8, responsibilities may also include janitorial work throughout the unit, because those plastic urinal bottles aren't as sturdy as they look like they should be. And I know that firsthand. So don't forget the dwell times of the purple, the grey, and the orange cloths. Previous experience for this role will include 2 years or 2.5 years, depending on who you're asking, of reading, lectures, simulation, tests, and math, or maths for my English folk. And during these 2 years, you should have not less than 500 hours of on-the-job training that was offered on a continually exhausting basis, unpaid. The benefits of this job. It provides a myriad of opportunities for us for personal growth, infinite gratitude, general contempt, free hugs, and the occasional bed bug. The attire is your PJs. That's what scrubs are. And a retractable badge that might very well slap you awake quicker than your Starbucks coffee. The wages and compensation. They will vary, but we believe that you'll do this job simply for the satisfaction of others. So in closing, I have a quote from Mary Seacole, and she was a British Jamaican nurse who tended to the wounded in the battlefield during the Crimean War. She said, "The grateful words and smile which rewarded me for binding up a wound or giving a cooling drink was a pleasure worth risking life for at any time. I congratulate all of you and me. I wish you all the best, and in the words of Miss Arnold, go be great learners." Thank you.
Thank you, Dion. We will now have the recognition of our graduates by Ms. Diane Siner, Assistant Professor of Nursing. Presentation of the roses by Ms. Janet Arnold, Associate Professor of Nursing. Ms. Sutton Compton, Assistant Professor of Nursing. The pins, Ms. Nina Gautrell, Assistant Professor of Nursing, and Ms. Terry Willoughby, Associate Professor of Nursing. Then we will have our Nightingale Pledge by Ms. Carol Taylor, Associate Professor, and then we will have our closing remarks by Dr. Figge.
We can come up by one row at a time alphabetically. Over here. Miss Carolyn Barrett. Carolyn's positive experience included gaining the knowledge needed to practice as a safe and competent nurse. Carolyn has not yet accepted an offer because truly she needs a mental break. She has 2 upcoming interviews and plans on furthering her education to eventually gain a master's degree in nursing informatics. Carolyn Beatley. Caroline's positive experience included the ability to care for patients and gain valuable skills during clinical rotations. Caroline has accepted a position in the ICU at St. Mary's Hospital. Jenny Benson. Jenny's most positive experience was meeting so many incredible friends. Jenny says, "I would be honored to work with them and next to them every day. I will keep these friendships long after graduation." Jenny's next step is to be a school nurse until the last 2 children graduate and then work on a pediatric or mother-infant unit. Caitlin Bursch. She's out here. Jordan Banks. Jordan's positive experience includes the bonds and friendships made with fellow students. Jordan has accepted a position at St. Mary's in the Step-Down ACE program, in which nurses get to work on 3 different units for 12 weeks and decide which one to choose. Mariana Bletzis. Mariana says, "My positive experience was feeling myself grow confident in my abilities in clinical." Mariana's next step is to take the NCLEX and begin interviewing for positions at Virginia Commonwealth University Medical Center. Hayley Bundock. Hayley's positive experience included the camaraderie and support of peers throughout the journey of nursing school. Hayley has accepted a position in the cardiac ICU at Henrico Doctors Hospital as part of the STAR RN program. Anne-Claire Coraton. Anne-Claire's positive experience included getting through nursing school together as a team. Anne-Claire has accepted a position at Henrico Doctors Hospital on the mother-baby unit. Elizabeth Cousins. Elizabeth's positive experience included the knowledge gained from Dr. Reed and Ms. Gartrell. Elizabeth says, "I will carry your wisdom and compassion throughout my nursing career." Elizabeth has accepted a position at VCU on the cardiothoracic surgery step-down unit. Hannah Crandall. Hannah's positive experience includes the new friendships that she gained and the knowledge she gained. Hannah has accepted a position on cardiac step-down unit. Uriah Crump-Smith. Uriah's grateful for the clinical experience and the numerous pep talks with Professor Willoughby and Dr. Crowder. Uriah has accepted a full-time position at Johnson Willis Hospital on the mother-baby unit. Salome Curry-L. Salome found that having clinical in diverse settings was a positive experience. She plans to take the NCLEX in June and begin applying for positions as an RN in behavioral health. Heather Curtis. Heather is thankful for friendships made in nursing school. Heather's next step is to pass the NCLEX. Reed Elizabeth Dale. Reed is thankful for creating lifelong friendships while studying towards a degree that she dedicates to her father, who she lost to cancer. Reed is excited to be making a difference in the lives of others and seeing what the future brings. Reed has accepted the dream position as an RN in the operating room. Hayley Davidson. Hayley's positive experience includes making friendships that will last long after we leave. Hayley has accepted a position in the emergency department at Johnston Willis Hospital. Samantha Dempsey. Samantha is thankful for the friendships made along the way. Samantha's next step is to take the NCLEX and start the interviewing process. Dion Dow. Dion's positive experience includes making many lifelong friendships with other students. Dion has accepted a position with HCA Healthcare in their STAR RN program in behavioral health. Lauren Dunn. Lauren is thankful for meeting new friends and making great memories that will last forever. She has accepted a position at the St. Francis Medical Center in the intensive care unit. Elisa Evans. Elisa has had some wonderful clinical experiences with great patients and has accepted a position at Memorial Regional Medical Center on the PCU or step-down unit. Faith Flanagan. Faith will cherish the friends made at John Tyler forever. Faith is going to work on the medical respiratory ICU at VCU Health Center. Tatiana Gracheva. Tatiana is thankful for the knowledge gained in nursing school and will take the NCLEX in July and begin interviewing for RN positions. Jasmine Graves Cooper. Jasmine had the most positive experience in community health nursing, which allowed a better understanding of the challenges in the community that she'll be serving after graduation. Jasmine is deciding between offers from HCA Health Care and VCU Healthcare. Amber Haddon. Amber is thankful for friends made and camaraderie they had. She will be accepting a position at Chippenham Medical Center as an emergency room nurse and continuing her education in critical care. Katie Haley Thompson. Katie says, my positive experience includes how much I have grown as a person and the friends that I made. Katie has accepted a job in the intensive care unit at St. Francis Medical Center. Beth Hodges. Beth is thankful for all the wonderful people she got to meet. She accepted a position at the VCU Health System on North 6 Medicine Specialty Unit. Julie Rebar. Julie's most positive experience includes her new friends. She has accepted a position at the VCU Health System on North 6 Medicine Specialty Unit. Carnisha Johnson. Carnisha created meaningful friendships. It makes a difference having people who understand what you're going through. Carnisha has accepted a position in the medical respiratory ICU at VCU Health System and is excited to put the learned skills into use and keep expanding on that knowledge. Morgan Lehman. Morgan will be working at the VCU Health System on North 6 Medicine Specialty Unit. Nicholas Linnell. Nicholas's clinicals were positive experiences at John Tyler. I was incredibly lucky to have 2 semesters with each of my instructors. Nicholas has accepted a position at VCU Health System. Kenneth Maiden. Kenneth's positive experience includes a stronger relationship with his cousin Reed. Nursing school brought them closer together. Kenneth's next step is to complete the NCLEX and accept an ICU position in one of Bon Secours hospitals. Joshua Mcdaniel. Joshua is thankful for the teamwork used to reach the goals in clinicals, simulations, and throughout the program. Joshua plans to interview this summer for positions and continue working on Bachelor of Nursing. Colin Mills. Colin's positive experience included meeting so many new people. Colin will take the NCLEX and work in the pediatric emergency room at Chippenham Medical Center. Yay. Ashley Nelson. Nope, she's not here. Oh. Mike? Mike Morgan. Have you accepted a position? ICU at St. Francis Medical Center. So are we on Ashley Nelson? Yes. Ashley Nelson. Ashley enjoyed making lifelong friends and has learned how to persevere. Ashley accepted a position at Henrico Doctors Hospital on the mother-baby unit and plans to obtain a BSN and a Doctor of Nursing practice. Tiffany Robinson Pollard. Tiffany's best memory was meeting and becoming friends with so many amazing people. I would not have gotten through this program without them. Tiffany plans to become an emergency room nurse at Chippenham Medical Center. Is Carolyn Proctor here? No? Okay. Amanda Reese. Amanda is thankful for all the friendships made in nursing school. She will take the NCLEX and interview for positions in Florida. David Reich. David's positive experience includes the friendships made and the inside jokes shared. Mommy's here. David's next step is to take the NCLEX and to begin interviewing. Gabrielle Alexis Rivera. Gabrielle learned to cope with and overcome adversity during nursing school. Gabrielle has accepted a position at St. Mary's Hospital. Rochelle Roberts. Rochelle's best memory from nursing school is witnessing the growth my peers and I have experienced. Up next is a job in the ICU and her Bachelor of Nursing. Denise Rockwell. Denise learned that nursing is a team sport, and she had a great team. The next step for Denise is to take the NCLEX exam and interview for community health positions, as well as volunteer for remote area medical missions clinics. Ryan Severson. Ryan is thankful for the friendships made and the knowledge gained during nursing school. Ryan has accepted a position at St. Mary's Hospital. Cheryl Kim Shaw. Cheryl is thankful for the opportunity to work with such wonderfully diverse, smart, compassionate group of people. Wonderful nurses are heading out to make a positive difference in our community. Cheryl will be applying for positions at VCU Health System. Muhammad Siddiqui. Muhammad's positive experiences included making friends and enduring the suffering of nursing school together. Muhammad has accepted a position at Chippenham Medical Center in the cardiovascular intensive care unit. Emily Sims. Emily is thankful for the opportunity to get hands-on experience with nursing skills through clinicals with her classmates. Emily has accepted an RN position at Chippenham Medical Center in the Medical Surgical Trauma ICU. Christopher Stamper. Christopher never knew nurses had so much compassion and learned so much about that compassion during nursing school. Christopher hopes to work in the ICU and learn how to care for the most critically ill patients. Is Paula? Paula's not here? No. Paula Stells? No. Melissa Thomas. Melissa's best memory was gaining the friendships made with her classmates. Melissa has accepted a position in the pediatric ICU at VCU Health System. Brittany Thompson. Brittany says her most positive experience was being able to say, "I did it, I graduated from nursing school." Brittany plans to pass the NCLEX and obtain a position in either L&D or working with children. April's not here, right? Patricia Tracy. Patricia is thankful for the lifelong friendships she's made. She has accepted a position in the operating room. Hugs. Sandra Villagomez. Sandra is thankful for making friendships and memories with her classmates. Sandra has accepted a position at Johnston Willis Hospital in the intensive care unit. Zachary Watson. Zachary learned how to deal with different personalities during nursing school. Zachary has accepted a position with the VCU Health System in the coronary ICU beginning at the end of May. Erica Williams. Erica's most positive experience was making so many new friends. She has accepted a position in the emergency department at Johnston Willis. Jordan Williams. Jordan is thankful for new lifelong friendships. Jordan has accepted a position at Parham Doctors Hospital in the emergency room. Victoria Wood. Victoria's best memory includes the friendships and the teamwork with classmates and going to many different clinical sites. Victoria will be taking the NCLEX and then starting the ACE step-down track at Memorial Regional Medical Center. Nin Yi. Nin says, throughout this program, I have gained so many friendships and much knowledge. In my opinion, friendship is one of the most important aspects of a successful college experience. Nin has accepted an ICU nurse residency position at John Randolph Hospital and is excited to start her nursing career. Anna Zembar. Anna's thankful for the knowledge, guidance, and encouragement received from the different nursing instructors along the way. Anna has accepted a position in an HCA ICU in Denver, Colorado.
Awesome. A great big congratulations to all of you. I have the honor of guiding everyone to recite the Nightingale Pledge. It's on the back of your program. I'm going to ask these soon-to-be RNs to stand, please. And if there's any other RNs in the audience, could you please stand too and recite the Nightingale Pledge with me? It is our commitment to the people who entrust us with their care. I solemnly pledge myself in the presence of this assembly to faithfully practice my profession of nursing. I will do all in my power to make and maintain the highest standards and practices of my profession. I will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping in the practice of my calling. I will assist the physician in his or her work and will devote myself to the welfare of my patients, my family, and my community. I will endeavor to fulfill my rights and privileges as a good citizen and take my share of responsibility in promoting the health and welfare of the community. I will constantly endeavor to increase my knowledge and skills in nursing and to use them wisely. I will zealously seek to nurse those who are ill wherever they may be and whenever they are in need. I will be active in assisting others in safeguarding and promoting the health and happiness of mankind. Thank you. And I give the mic to Dr. Figge.
Good evening. My name is Bill Figge. I have the honor of serving as the Chief Academic Officer here at John Tyler, becoming Brightpoint, and I stand between you and your dinner reservation. So I will not be long, I promise. First, you guys persevered, and I'm so proud of the work that you have done. But give them a big round of applause. Yep. But we also know that it's a standing room only crowd. And how great is it after 3 years of not having a nursing pinning in person to have a standing room only crowd to celebrate your success. And we know I see some little babies out there. I see a lot of kids. These guys supported you a lot along the way. We know that you heard some things, right, to help them get through this program. Take this opportunity to give them a standing ovation for the support they gave to you. Thank you. Dion, great job with your presentation or your speech. Love the sense of humor, genuine care and compassion. Great representation of this class of 2022. Very well done. Outstanding. And Joe, and I'm being serious when I say this, you said your dad yelled, "Get a job." At my graduation, my dad too yelled out, "Get a job." So, and that's a true story. As I said, I'm standing between you and your dinner reservation, so I'm going to tell a story I actually told two of the students when we had the opportunity to meet recently. You know, 3 of the most memorable experiences of my life, 2 happy and 1 sad, were with nurses. Happy, my firstborn, December 11th, 2006. Well, I say easy birth. Really, there's no easy birth. But my wife went into labor at 8. At 4:30, she had the kid. Everything was just to clockwork and was absolutely perfect. And I got to stand right next to the nurse as Aaron's head was appearing. It was a surreal experience, let me tell you. It was absolutely amazing. I'll never forget it. Just 19 months later came number 2. And I wasn't right there because it wasn't as easy. It was 2:46 in the morning. It was a very quick birth. She wasn't breathing when she came out. About 10 seconds later, all of a sudden, I hear loud cry, and she hasn't shut up since. My second daughter, Erica. Happy days, fantastic. And then just 10 years ago, actually, this March, I too lost my dad to cancer. And it was the hospice nurse who came in about 45 minutes before he passed, knew he wasn't going to make it and wanted to give time for the family to be with him. And she kissed him on the forehead and she said, "See you later, big guy." And I'll never forget that as long as I live. You know, nurses were there during the most exhilarating days and the saddest days. And that's what you guys are going to do. As Joe said in his speech, you're going to be there for people. And that's huge. My mom's been having a few health issues recently. She's now back home, which is great. She has home health aides with her, and so they're with her around the clock, and she has great support system. And I feel confident of who she has working with her. But it's interesting. I'll give one other piece of advice. Because I was talking about physical therapy. I'm like, "Mom, you doing physical therapy?" "I don't know. I don't know if I still want to do it." I'm like, "Mom, you need to do physical therapy." But here's her reason where she said she might not want to do physical therapy. And she's not from here. She's from another community. Lives in another community where I grew up. She said, "I don't know. The people I've had, they weren't as friendly." She said, when I was at the rehab facility, these are the ones who would come in, like they would just walk by and they wouldn't say hello. They just came in when they were to work with me. And she said that about another experience that she had. So what's important to her was just, even if you weren't coming to see her specifically, is just wave. Just say hello. That's something that's meaningful to my mom as she has a lot of nursing care to her. So that's a piece of advice from my mom. You know, you guys did survive a global pandemic, and we have mugs for each of you right outside. You can pick it up on your way out. It says, even a global pandemic couldn't stop me. Yep. And the reason I brought it on stage with me is because if I didn't, I would have forgot to mention for you to pick up the mugs, and we'd still have 60 on the table outside. But it's true, as Joe stated in his speech. You know, you started it at a crazy time, and you finished at a good time, right? Because the nursing field needs you, and you're coming out, and you're ready to go. And so we're super proud of your work. We're super proud of your achievements. As I've told many of you, as you get your bachelor's degrees, as you get your master's degrees, some of you D&P, come back and teach for us someday. We're always looking for good teachers to help the next generation of nurses, as was stated before. So with that, have a great time tonight. You all got this. You're going to get the NCLEX done because you're prepared, and you're going to be great nurses because you're great people. Give them a big round of applause, your nursing class of 2022. And if you all would remain standing as they recess, if we can get the doors, I don't know who's opening the doors, but whoever's opening the doors, we can get those doors open, and they can recess out. Everybody have a safe evening.
what I was telling Nikki. You want to get them before, because most of them, what happens is they get a job. Wherever they get their job is where they end up doing the work.
First semester, we gotta figure that out.
Because they come, because I bought my contract when I was doing customer service. First semester, yeah.
We gotta get them first semester.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I might have sometime maybe hit you up for a conversation, how we might see any class or something. You got space over there. We did a training for you, right? Then you got it. Just have that kind of a conversation.
Yeah.
No pressure, just you can do it great, it's not great, but when you go to the lines, we do CNA on the credit and non-credit, so you can play in the audience that way. Yeah. It's a nice idea. Let me get next week or two out of the way.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
together.
Okay.
Thanks for coming over.
Thank you.